Attention, the following podcast will probably suck ass and there will be things we say that may trigger others, but nonetheless, these are our personal opinions on various topics in regards to movies/TV shows, video games and sports. Do not take anything said in the podcast seriously. If you enjoy the episode and want to tune in for more, follow us on our socials today. With that said, kick back, relax and enjoy the show.
Hello there, and welcome to another episode of the Just Our Thoughts podcast. I am your host, Benjamin Draper, bringing you the most. This is Season 2, Episode 3, and today we are joined by the notorious duo from ODU Esports COD team. It is Captain Dylan Glover and co-captain Patrick Caulfield. Welcome to the podcast, gentlemen.
Thank you so much.
How you doing, babe?
I just want to mention this because Patrick wanted this to be mentioned.
Yes.
He is the longest tenured COD member for ODU Esports, so he just wants that to be recognized before we go on with this podcast.
I expect like one day hanging jersey in the rafters somewhere in the esports arena. I think that we got to make space for that.
You got to put our names up on the wall
somewhere. I can paint something.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, how's your guys' week been so far? Because we are recording on a Tuesday, so it is early week.
Yeah.
So how's your first 2 days of this new week been so far?
Pretty good so far. I mean, we haven't done much. No COD so far, but we do have a scrim tonight. You know, trying to get some practice in.
I had a studio class this morning. We had a visiting artist. We talked a little bit. I think it was Kaisha Bolton. She was a glass worker. Very cool lady. And the studio class is like 3 hours long, so from like 9 to 12, I'm just there. It's one of the last classes I needed, so just like pushing through it, but I'm kind of appreciating it now.
Those 3 hour classes are tough. I had a 3 hour class for an art class last year. I'm not big on art. Like, do not get me wrong. I appreciate it. Sure. But like in terms of like doing like the projects and stuff, like I'm not no artist whatsoever. So I'm not really bringing much to the table other than like just being there and just doing my time and finishing the class.
I try to like expose these guys to art whenever we're scrimming or whatnot. Like I tell them, you know, on campus there's a art gallery across the street, and like a couple of occasions this year I couldn't make it to practice because there's a new gallery opening. So I was like, yo, guys, come to the gallery opening. There's, like, free food and free drinks. Well, none of these guys drink, so that's...
Yeah, I'm too young. Can't really do that.
You're free to say anything on this podcast, okay. By the way.
I mean, yeah, none of you guys go over there, come get a drink with me, just chill out, talk about art, but it's all COD now, nerds and stuff.
Yeah, straight nerds over here.
But, you guys have been with ODU Esports for quite a while now. Could you guys tell me a little bit how you first got into esports in general and how you found the opportunity to see that Old Dominion was presenting a team for you guys to participate in?
So I got into esports when I was about 15. I started doing like game battles and CMG, trying to get my name out there, but I didn't start doing esports competitively until I actually got here my freshman year in 2021. And then I got placed on the JV team with Pat. And then kind of the passion got started there, and then that's how ODU COD JV team kind of arrived, because
oh my god,
we've all been teammates for about 2 years now, so it's been a long ride, but that's how it started for me.
Yeah, for me it's kind of similar. I mean, what year did Call of Duty Ghost come out? 2013, and I
love Ghost.
Yeah, I was die on the hill of like one of the greatest Call of Duties, like competitively. But
to me, I think Ghost is probably like the most underrated COD, but that's just my personal opinion.
It was so smooth, and like I was 12 years old playing it. That's when I first gotten into competitive.
That's when clan battles started too. Like you could develop your own clan and you could face up against other. Like yes, that was tight, and you could just do it. It was so much simpler than how they have the format now with like MLG and stuff like that. I know you guys know a lot more about that, but I haven't been following it recently.
No, that was like the first game I really did. Esports or like game battles and stuff, and then I think like 2013, 14, 15 I really got immersed into like MLG and like Optic, FaZe, all those like big
big brands,
orgs, the big orgs in the business. And then like I met a bunch of people through the game. Like I met a guy who stays in the 757 down here, and like I met him when I was in 8th grade. And when I got here in 2021, we actually met up, and like it was like a kind of a full circle moment. Not only because, you know, we met online and we're really good friends that way, but like through esports, like I got here and started doing the esports through ODU, like on a more like competitive level, more organized level. And like he was like the first one to like kind of mentor me and kind of like show me the ropes of like how to like conduct yourself in like an online environment.
So I know you mentioned that Ghost was the game that really got you into competitive. Dylan, what was the game for COD that really got you immersed into the competitive aspect of the game?
I would say Black Ops 3. That was the first jetpack game that actually really got me into it. Although like I was really young when that game came out. I was like 13. So that like really started, but over the coming years, I mean, the passion really got to me, and then it really started getting to me when I played MW 2019, and that's when I really started like actually playing the game and understanding. And then once I got to college, I mean, I had teammates around me, and we actually had to learn how the dynamics and how the game works and revolved around. So I would say that that's how my origin began.
Yeah, Black Ops 3, I really took it seriously, especially during that next summer. Because like during school, I would barely play. Yeah. I mean, we'd play like 8s or something after school, or like just do like ranked play until we go to bed or something. But during the summer month, like I think my team, we got like top 800 on UMG for like I think variant for that summer for Black Ops 3, and that was like the highest rank we ever got. And like we almost went to in 2015. There was a event in DC for Advanced Warfare.
I remember that.
We almost went to that one, and like that was like almost our peak in our team sibling. That was like my OG clan with the OG boys. That was like our clan, our wannabe esports.
Mm-hmm.
But like that was like we almost went there, and like that was like I was this close to going. And, like, that almost was, like, it for me. Like, I don't know if I went there, could have met somebody this or that, and could have taken a different trajectory. But I'm here now. So,
yeah,
whatever. In some capacity, doing esports.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have had, I mean, for BO3 itself, I mean, I really enjoyed BO3. BO3 was a game that really, like, sits well with me after all this time with COD. I think it's one of those CODs that is going to be talked upon, like, for a long time. And just still talking about the interest of COD, I mean, kind of give me your guys' background about how you guys got into the Call of Duty atmosphere. Like, what was the first COD game you got into? What was the first multiplayer game that you really got into COD? And just kind of tell me how it really piqued your interest.
For me, it was World at War on the PC.
Wow.
Yeah, my dad or my mom's boyfriend at the time had a PC, and he had a World at War. And I would just play on it. I was more of into zombies.
Oh, yeah.
So I wasn't really into the multiplayer aspect. But once Black Ops 2 came out, I got that Xbox 360. I was on it every day after school.
What about MW2, the OG MW2?
I was about to say that.
So I didn't have it when it first came out.
Damn.
My first multiplayer was Black Ops 2, but then I transitioned back into the old COD. So Black Ops, MW4 or COD 4, MW2, and MW3. Those are like my backgrounds. But I actually started with Black Ops 2, and I was like really young. I was like 8, 9 maybe when that game came out.
What's our year difference, Dylan?
I'm 20.
I'm 23.
So 3
Same.
years.
So it's 3 years, and that's a big difference if we're talking Call of Duty, like first Call of Duties.
Yeah.
Yeah. My first Call of Duty was Modern Warfare 3. I remember getting the 360 that December, and like hooking it up, downloading the map packs, and that's like my first time with the Xbox 360. I was like, freaking, I don't know, mind blown. But then I went back with my friends and got into MW2 modded lobbies. Then got like unlock all on my MW2 stuff, so I was pretty valid then. And then, MW3. But you said World at War, right?
That's what started.
World at War was my game.
But I was more into the zombies, so I didn't play multiplayer.
Zombies scared the fuck out of me.
No,
yes,
dude.
Like
I remember
play
the very
solo.
first time it all happened. Like when you finished the campaign, like you
Yeah.
thought the game was over with, but then you just saw the zombie just pop out all in the distance, and you just see him running at you, and man, and then you just see the big red logo at the end, Nazi zombies. I mean, that's just some OG shit right there.
Yeah.
That's some goated shit.
Yes.
Because like I was like 6, 7 when that, and I was like,
Freaked me the fuck out.
I was gone.
Shout out Brendan Martini.
Yeah.
Went to. You don't even know the kid.
You never know.
Okay, never mind. Anyways, bro, I went over to his house for a sleepover, right? We were playing Shino Numa. I was fucking shitting bricks. I had to call my mom for real. Like, I was like, yo, we're playing this fucking zombies game. I'm scared, ma. And she's like, bro, calm down. She hung up on me. But, yeah.
I think for me it was Verrucked, just because of all the sounds that were in that map.
Yo, scary ass.
So many sounds. It was just all the yelling, the screaming. It's just
Like
wild.
drills. We're in a mental asylum and hearing drills and shit. Like, yo.
Yeah, when I loaded up to Kino, I literally loaded in the first 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I turned the game off and I refunded it. I couldn't play it.
Refunded it, though?
Yes.
Damn.
No.
Talking about refunds or, like, giving stuff away, my biggest mistake as a kid, or it wasn't even my mistake, my parents got rid of my PlayStation 2. And, like, at the time, I was like, all right, that's fair. I don't play it. But, like, every time I want to play, like, that first Lego Star Wars game.
Oh my goodness,
Or,
yes.
like, one of those dirt bike games. I forget there's, like, this rally car game. I think it's, like, Burnout or something. I used to play the fuck out of that. Just crash into different cars. You're, like, driving through rings of fire, like... I forget the name of it. Like, every once in a while I try to remember it, but I could never remember. It was like Burnout 2 or like Burnout. It was like Dirt Rally.
You gotta look it up now.
It's like I can't look it up. Every time I look it up, I don't.
I think that the big game for me for PlayStation 2 was definitely the Bond games as well as the SOCOM games. I don't know if you guys know the SOCOM games, but those used to be like the elite military shooter games, and it was all about like the single player because it was hard. It was a really tough game, and I really grew up with those, especially with the PSP. Like I played all the SOCOM games on the PSP. Yes. Ooh.
SOCOM and Fallout on the PSP.
Yes.
Peak. What you know about the PSP? You're looking at me
Nothing.
like
I didn't like PlayStation.
Wow.
you didn't have a PSP. You didn't have a
No.
PlayStation.
Okay,
4.
so you started with the Xbox 360.
That
Did
was
you
my-
have the OG Xbox?
No, so the 360 was my first console, but prior to that, I used to have like a DS, Game Boys, and then I had.
I did fuck with the Game Boys. I
Oh,
used to play
yeah.
Mortal Kombat the hell out of those on things.
Pokemon was my game on there. I had red, blue, yellow. Oh, I had all of it. But my first console was the 360, and I just stayed with Xbox up until 2019. So then that's what like transitioned over to me having a PC.
Yeah, to this day I've never had a PC. Like I got to ODU.
You need to get on that PC.
compete. Yeah,
For sure.
I got here to compete, and I've been having to play at the arena for like a couple of years because I was supposed to be getting this guy's old PC, but something fell through with that. So I have a Series X, and I think that's pretty decent. I mean, I'm just gonna be.
It's still next gen, yeah.
It's probably better than my old PC, but I mean, a PC is still nice to have.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. I want to get into the next gen consoles. Like I want to get either a PlayStation or an Xbox. I've kind of been leaning more on the Xbox side as of late, just because it's cheaper and whatnot. But the thing that really drives me towards like PlayStation is the exclusives, and then you have games. Spider-Man 2 that just came out, and my goodness, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I've been watching the story and like the walkthrough and everything, and I just have to say they've done Kraven the Hunter so good in that game. Like, I really want him to be portrayed in live action like very well because they're making a Kraven the Hunter film as well, but that's Sony. Yeah, it's Sony though.
Sony Kraven?
Yeah, they're gonna mess it up somehow.
Is it still with
like the Morbius universe type shit?
Oh.
Yeah.
With the same writers and directors?
I don't know if it's the same writers and directors, but like it's in that universe. So I don't have a good track record with Sony. I don't trust them very much. So we'll see. We will see, definitely. But kind of just getting off topic. Back to the COD thing, really. Was there any favorite maps, any guns that really stand out to you after all these years of playing COD?
So for a sub would be the MSMC from Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
Because
that's pretty cliche, that.
It is, or the Scorpion. I mean, any gun from Black Ops 2 was good, but for the AR, since I just transitioned, I like the Automaton from Vanguard. That was also a very like super good gun. I know you enjoyed it so much during our Vanguard season.
Yeah.
But I also do like the TAC 45 that we have now. I think it's really good. But yeah, I would say those are my two favorite guns so far. But for snipers, gotta go with the Intervention.
Snipers, yeah, that's valid.
Intervention's the OG.
I was a
100%.
wannabe sniper.
Oh, I was too. I was a wannabe phase kid.
I wasn't that bad. Did
Oh.
you change your name to like Phase XX?
Oh yeah, I was in a clan every 6 months.
I was not on that list. I was strictly in like whatever clan our friends made, and that's it. Like we stuck to it until like one day, like, yo, let's change our clan name to this, and like, all right, bet. But like changing the name was a hassle because you had to like
Pay for it
get
and
the
everything.
Microsoft points, go to CBS,
Yeah.
pay the $20 for the 1,600 Microsoft points,
Yeah, it was
scratch off the label,
It was
go back.
stupid.
Bro.
Fucking wild.
You had to pay to change your name.
Yes.
You still do. You still do.
I mean, that's just how corporations are. They're going to try to take every cent they can out of you. But for me personally, and this is kind of just off of the radar, I think Honey Badger is very underrated, and I enjoyed
Ghost?
Yes. I thought the Honey Badger was fucking phenomenal in Ghost.
I think that was like the first gun in Call of Duty to come with like an integrated suppressor in it. Like that was like one of the new features of that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me though, a distinct memory I do have was like when I first got the Xbox and loaded in MW3. I forget the name of the map, but it was was it like Sahara or something?
Probably. Maybe.
Where it had that like cave area.
Oh.
Afghan?
No, that's MW. That's Modern Warfare 2, man. I'm talking about Modern Warfare 3. Sahara, I think it's like Sahara or it's like Africa. Sahara.
I was thinking the MW2 map too.
Yeah, I thought it was an MW2 map for a sec.
I can't remember exactly with the MW3. I haven't played MW3 in fucking forever.
I was playing this joint all summer. I'm a figure it out. It was like, was it Bakara?
Bacaro? Bokid?
No.
You trying to go back to Bokid on Vanguard?
Please, no.
Do you guys have any other passions in life other than like COD?
Sorry to interrupt. I found
No,
the name
you're
of it.
fine.
Village.
Okay.
I remember
Mm.
hopping
Yeah.
in on Village my first map with like one of those like standard
Default classes.
classes, and I was sitting in the living room with my parents watching me play Call of Duty. I'm going around shooting, killing people, and my dad is like, "Oh, great!" Like it was like great. Nah, but that's probably favorite guns though.
There's so many guns.
And
There's too many to
Yes.
count.
there are a lot of guns. I think underrated though. MW 2019 M4, that was pretty fire.
Or the Krieg Cold War.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Krieg in Cold War was phenomenal.
40 round
also.
mag.
40.
Yeah.
We didn't have 40 rounds.
Yes, we did.
We had 30, bro.
No, we did it.
I was rocking with 30.
You should be rocking 40.
Mm.
Look at this guy. Don't even know his game.
Hey,
Mm.
I would, bro. I was carrying this guy our first year.
Oh,
in
yeah, he
JV.
was. No, he was.
I was shredding through JV, and that was because I really didn't have a spot in the first team that year until like they started tweaking out. It's like almost the end of the playoffs.
Mhm.
And they're like, "Yo, this was the day of the NACE tournament." They're like, "Yo, Pat, go. You gotta hop in and play for us." Like, I didn't play fucking Cold War after
It was like a few weeks.
a couple weeks, maybe like a week and a half.
Yeah.
And then I hop in like the day of the tournament, like our biggest tournament, right? For NACE.
It was like the weekend thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I was sitting there fucking getting swamp ass in the esports arena, sitting down playing for 7 hours, getting the top 6 in the nation. That gotta flex that. That's like our only.
He has to.
That's like our only accolade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not even an accolade. It's just like a placing.
So
Yeah.
so basically just venturing back into the ODU Esports. I mean, when you first got onto the team, did you really expect this, like, being a part of a varsity esports team would present so many challenges as it has already?
Yeah, we for the last 2 years we have gone through so much. Like, there was this semester where I wasn't competing, so then I had to fill somebody in, and that caused a lot of drama and with the whole team aspect. And I know he was going through it because with the whole issues. We hate drama, but we were going through a lot of it through the last 2 years. But when it comes to actually competing, I mean, we kind of have like a routine. We try to get as much practice in. I know recently we just haven't, but we try to get a lot of practice in, and we just come in for game days and try to do our job. And if not, then we try to learn off each other. And if that, then also the game as well. But that's probably our biggest challenge, trying to learn the game individually, since we all don't come to the arena as often as we should, since we're all in school and have jobs and everything. That's one of our biggest like issues, I would say, overall.
I mean, us, like, we have such different schedules throughout the day, and like the only times we can practice is probably our only free time.
Just like late at night.
Yeah. So, I mean, the biggest challenge for me being here for as long as I have, it's like trying to break through the wall that builds in front of me. Like every time we get to like an end of a game or like a game cycle where a new game's coming out, we gotta play the old game for a couple weeks. I'm like, okay, we can do this. But like when we're in season, the challenge is like, yo, can I be better? Like I'm like pretty old for like a gamer, like a collegiate gamer, like 23. Even for like a wannabe esports, like.
And I think it's important that you add the collegiate gamer in there because you're never too old to play video games. I don't care what anybody says. Like, video games is fucking life. Yeah. But for a collegiate gamer, I mean, 23. I mean, I'm the same age as you. So definitely feel more on the older side because you have all these people coming in at 19, 20, and they're really just coming of age and really maturing themselves. So it's definitely a different viewpoint, especially because, we're just much more older and we've just gone through it and whatnot. So I think that's a pretty cool point that you bring up. But has there been any specific moments since you guys have been a team that really stand out to you guys that you guys will take with you even after like college and whatnot?
Any moments? I mean, we've made a lot of memories when competing. Like for me, it was we lost against Akron our recent season, but that game taught me a lot with everybody, and I was like, we all can beat these top tier teams if we really put the effort in. And like it taught me as a player that like I could really do this like overall, and I know I can show my potential, and like I know Pat can, because we are all phenomenal players, but it does come with some hardships here and there.
Yeah, I mean, the best moment for me besides that tournament that I was talking about just a second ago, probably I don't know, probably sometime during Vanguard when we were all playing and
our JMU match.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably our biggest win, yeah.
That was our most highlighted win, I would say, because, JMU was a up-and-coming team, and like you said, like you knew somebody on that team, so he
went to the same high school as me, and I didn't even know it at the time. And then
but I think our Vanguard highlight would be that game specifically, because like we were like all in sync that day. It was like how we were for Akron, but for some reason that
Where
JMU
are those
game,
VODs?
they're somewhere in the archives.
They're gone.
They probably are gone just because like after like a year or so, if you haven't like downloaded the VODs or anything personally, because I downloaded some broadcast VODs from last year just to be sure before we started this one, and I have some of those, but from the year before I can't find anything. So I feel like at the end of the year or whatnot, like those VODs, if you don't have them downloaded on your stuff or whatever, I mean, they're fucking gone.
Fucked.
Yeah, we gotta find that.
Yes, there definitely has to be an archive. You probably have to talk to Byron and about it, but let's be real.
Yeah, Byron's been like, I don't know, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
If it's not there, it's not there. Just call it a day.
That's not, dude. It has to be on one PC or it has to be on one hard drive, dude.
We should just have a dedicated archive, no matter what. Like, if you want to go back and look at something that happened.
How much are external hard drives? And those broadcasts cannot be that long or that big of like file space. Or actually,
they kind of are.
They kind of are, just because of all the delay that we have with like the BRB screens and stuff like that. Because like when we go to BRB screens, bro, we could be there for like half an hour or so before we even come back with the game. Like for me personally, if I'm a viewer watching the ODU Esports stream, bro, you've lost me after fucking 5 minutes.
You lost me at the gameplay for
Depending on the game that's being played, yeah. I agree.
Yeah, like what our own for ODU Esports, like our only real competitive
The
title is
Smash.
Smash
Maybe a
and
little bit of
Rocket
Rocket League. Maybe they have their moments here and there, but it's mostly Smash. It's always been Smash because of Polo and them.
Yeah, yeah. He's been here. What? Before he
Well,
transferred.
yeah, before he transferred.
They were like undefeated back-to-back seasons. So I mean,
Top 10 in the nation probably, or like on the East Coast for sure.
oh, for East Coast for sure.
How are we gonna make this thing grow? Like that's another challenge for me. Like I've been trying to
Expand
think of ways to like help the program out, even though I'm not really like
involved
yeah,
in
like
it.
hired by the team or whatnot. But like I have a little passion for this shit. Like you know,
And I think that's important too. Like, you guys know me personally. I have a big passion when it comes to like teams that I root for and whatnot.
Yeah.
And for esports in general, like to pivot off of your point, it's just for me personally this year is kind of like more of a mentorship role because I know we have a lot of young members trying to come in and kind of want to get their feet wet, make sure that they're comfortable casting. Like you guys have casted with me. You specifically, Patrick. I mean, you got in to do some Valorant stuff with me, something you haven't really done before. But
I don't even know the game, and
yeah,
I'm
we still can play off of each other.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just
like it's all about just gaining the experience and just getting your feet wet. It's all about just getting there and try to venture out of your comfortable zone or whatever. Because I mean, you just got to get out there and do it, and that's something that I've really been trying to preach. And hopefully we can get more people in here that really have a passion for doing the things that we can. Because if you don't have the passion, you're in the wrong environment. At least to me personally.
No, yeah, I agree with you. Like, I mean, there's a lot of ways we can expand. I just don't think we have the capability right now with everything that's going on behind the scenes. I don't think we're going to be able to at this probably time.
I will say I do love what we're doing, though. Like, from the last 2 years that I've been here, because this is my third year here for esports, in the first 2 years, we really didn't do much in terms of, like, the production and whatnot. We went in there, we did the streams, whatnot, and all that. But now we have 4 monitors. We can do so much with vMixer, and just being able to expand our details, producing a good stream and whatnot. But in terms of like social media and stuff like that, I know we're trying to expand into that, but we really just don't do very well. But also with the gameplay, like you mentioned just a few moments ago, you have to back it up with some good gameplay, and we really can't showcase that. And I'm pretty sure people are not going to continue tuning in. If take Valorant for example, and I don't mean to bash on Valorant, like they lose 13-3, 13-2. Like we don't want to see just dominant victories because that's something that are just going to get people tuned out in a quick moment.
I feel like you're saying about like the social media team and like they're doing a lot with what they have.
Yeah, exactly.
At their disposal. And like since we got here, me and Dylan, like they weren't posting on Instagram or Twitter that we're streaming or having a match or like posting like highlight clips for the week or stuff like that. Even though it's like those edits are pretty decent. They can always be better, right? But like that's a foundation we can like ODU Esports can build on, and that's something that I enjoy seeing. Like, great, the exposure that'll come with time, but that needs to be like aided by actually Old Dominion University. Just like step in and like kind of assess and assist esports as like an objective sport and like competitive like environment, same as football, same as basketball. That season starting pretty soon. You know, same as all the other sports on around campus. Like, if there isn't enough like attention and support of like the people up top, how are we at the bottom gonna want to or have the like the ability to build for the school? Yeah, that's. I mean, the 2 years I've been here, the arena's gotten okay stuff.
It's still the same.
Like, yeah, the space is cool. I feel like we could do a lot more just in the web center.
I feel like we could do a lot more in terms of just student engagement itself.
Yeah.
I feel like we could definitely like put tables down or like, get stuff out there when what they do like the org fairs and stuff like that. Like we can really showcase a fun environment, especially with those like org fairs. Like we can bring out the games or something for people to participate in, take a few minutes at a time just to, you know, relieve some stress, play some games, and also just gain some interest into the program. Like even though that they may not like invest into the program itself, like you can still gain more viewers, and that viewers will help immensely in expanding the program itself.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's many ways we can start promoting like the arena a lot more to gain more attention, but I think it all just depends on the higher ups. I mean, if they're willing to promote and get our names out there, then I think we could do a lot with that, to be honest. But there's other ways we can gain more attention, like posting more on social media, like the docu-series that we're doing and behind the scenes. Like that is a great way to get the players' names out there, to help the esports programs to get more attention to us. But like I said, I think it just comes more in the years and what the higher ups can do and what they can afford and put place on the table for us.
I mean, I'm thinking of things to do right now. Like, since Smash is our best team, just put like 2 big ass TVs up down in Web Center. People are always playing
down there,
playing games down there.
There's always people down there,
and just like set up a little show match between 2 of our ODU people. Like,
yeah.
During activity hour.
Dude, like a king of the hill.
Yeah,
like
something
against
like
our
that,
top
like,
players or something.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Or utilize those TVs down there just to like showcase the streams. Like just put them up.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, there's people down there at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and not.
They're there until like midnight, really.
Yeah, they're there until Web Center closes. So like, if we're promoting our matches and people are watching, like, that could help us a lot. And like, we have a lot of TVs around the Web Center anyway. So I mean, that main area can definitely help us a lot.
Definitely something to do, like to showcase that we have esports, like, because I guarantee you there's people on campus that don't know that we have like competitive teams that like are for the games that they play.
100%.
And that's another thing that we had a challenge with this past summer is like tryouts and trying to find people for Call of Duty, because you notice that COD is the only team without a JV team, right? Or like, besides who else? Besides
Valorant doesn't have a JV team.
Yeah.
CS.
But Valorant, I mean, that whole situation broke down mid-season. So
what was that? What was that all about? Somebody got mad.
It's
always drama. It's always drama.
Yeah.
No, it's something behind the scenes.
It's
just behind the scenes drama. There's always drama.
You know, is it?
Oh, I know.
Oh, I bet you know.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was on the Valorant team.
Oh, this kid's trying to. Oh yeah, this kid tried to.
I know the people.
He tried to play 2 esports at the same damn
I remember.
time.
And I did. I played both of them.
And I remember this kid got benched or some shit on Valorant. And I was like, "Look at you, man! Come
I was
back
a
to
sub.
Papa.
I was the sub player, and then they put me in for at least like 3 to 4 matches.
Bottom frag type.
Hey, I was gold then.
Ooh. Yo, speaking of a game I'm struggling to get gold in, Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh,
fuck you, COD. By the way,
I can get up to like gold 2, gold 3 or gold. I can get to gold 2, gold 1, but like in terms of like plat, I cannot hit plat anymore. Like ever since the PS4 days, dude. Like those are the days where I could just hit plat easily on console and everything. But in terms of like playing PC Siege, whoo, baby, that's a new animal.
Dude, people are cracked as fuck on that shit.
Yes.
And Jinxie did not help. I mean, Jinxie put me onto that game. Like I'm playing.
I love Jinxie.
I'm like, we're in copper. Enemy combating. Like I can roll my B's and D's and T's. Like.
Dude, Jinxie is so funny. He's so hilarious, and I'm really glad that he really has revived Siege in a way, because Siege is still going on very well. I mean, year 8, and that's just one thing with the esports team. We don't even have a fucking Siege team. We haven't had a Siege team in 2 years.
Dude, we had one.
I know.
Yeah, no, we had one. Or 2 years ago. When we had our Cold War season, we had a varsity team.
Yeah,
and they were cracked.
Were they good? What the fuck happened?
Shit went down.
Yeah, no.
Shit went down.
Really?
Yes, because someone had to be stupid online.
No way, motherfucker. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no way, man. Listen, man. This is why you can't be shit talking game in type chat.
Hey, it is what it is.
Type chatting.
But now look at us. Now we don't have a team.
Yeah, I know. And Siege is something I've been thirsting for 2 years now. I've been telling Byron, I've been hounding him to get recruiting going for a Siege team, because we need Siege back on the menu for esports.
And I know a few people that want to play.
Yes. I
Do
fucking
we have
love
recruiting,
Siege.
bro? Like, do we have ODU
I
recruiting?
I would play that instead of COD, low key.
That's what Bio did on Akron.
Oh, I know.
And
He's like gold, and he's like on the main team.
I was literally about to subtweet him. I was like, yo, this dude was getting fried so bad in COD. He had to switch
From
to
ODU
Siege.
COD.
Exactly. He was getting so like he was. I have a clip of him like actually raging.
Like I told you about it.
Even though we lost that game, sadly we should have fucking won. But
I told
he was
Ben
like,
about
whoa,
it.
whoa, whoa. He was so fucking mad. No.
I told him how how comms can change. They were like casual comms, cool comms.
Yeah.
Near the end of the match on the map 4, they were freaking out. He
fuck
was
out.
like screaming at them. I was like, no way we did that to them.
That's wild.
Man,
We could have 3-1.
Yeah.
this is what happens when you can put some time into the game. At that point, where like what 2 weeks of practicing, good week and a half of practicing.
Like about 2 to 3 weeks in.
Dead game.
Yeah, I can't wait for MW3.
Speaking of MW3, I mean, I guess we'll just lead right into the topic. I mean, what are your overall thoughts for the potential success for this game?
I was playing Modern Warfare 2 2009 all summer.
Mm-hmm. It's basically just gonna be the same thing.
I know. And it's fucking raps for you little boys and little cracked 18, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds. Because y'all ain't never played High Rise. Y'all ain't never played Scrapyard. Y'all never played Karachi. Y'all never played Terminal 2009. Talk to me.
High Rise.
High Rise. Y'all ain't never played High Rise. Y'all ain't never played Favela. Don't get me started, man. I can name every map.
You can name
Wasteland.
it.
Nothing about it.
You can name it, but what's the gun skill looking like?
Oh my gosh. Let me get a new scuff.
What's the gunplay looking like?
Let me get some pressurized air. Let me get up in my motherboard and the controller.
We'll see soon.
Let me get some physical therapy going on my wrist and my shoulder, and I'll turn it to 18, no problem. Get me on a massage table. Shout out Deshaun Watson.
Jesus, we're not gonna get into that. I only support the quarterback of my Cleveland Browns. I don't support the person off the field.
Yeah, you're a
Yes.
Browns fan.
I am. It's a very tricky situation. Like, I want to be a fan of him, but he's also a creepy motherfucker too.
He's a bad quarterback.
He's all right. He's all right now, but he used to be fucking elite before.
The alligators coming around.
Yes. But we're just going to have to see how things transpire, because the Browns are still 4-2. Anyways, we're still going to get back on this MW3 topic, because there's more I wanted to talk about for it. We'll talk about that afterwards.
No,
but
I was going to say, are you going to play MW3?
I will not. I would definitely be watching.
We
But
need a sub. We need a substitute.
hell no, dude. I just play casually. I ain't gonna be no competitive person that you gonna rely on. Fuck no. I don't want that pressure. I really don't.
I've been itching to commentate, so you got to take my spot.
I don't know about all that.
Okay, ask your question.
Anyways, in terms of, like, you just mentioned the maps and whatnot. Is there any specific maps that you do want in rotation for competitive?
Definitely High Rise for Search and Destroy. Only.
Okay, for search, yes.
And then, what maps are in the beta?
Honestly, I didn't like any of the maps are in the beta. I don't think they're gonna be.
No culture. No culture. Right
I think Scrapyard's gonna make a return.
Nope. That's
for search.
Nope. Too small of a map. You could literally wallbang through spawn.
Yeah, I know. Makes it even better.
No. Anyways, map I want for sure. Oh, I'm blanking on the map. That was just flexing. I can name all of. One of the maps in the beta definitely is going to be a good hardpoint map.
Skid Row.
Skid Row.
Oh, for
Skid
sure.
Row
That
will be a great
hardpoint is
hardpoint
going
map.
to go crazy.
And the only thing I'm worried about though is that middle lane with the doors and whatnot, and the rotations are going to be kind of skimpy. Yeah, but the spawns though.
Dude, the spawns were so bad in the beta. Like, I think that's my major flaw, I would say. Like, everything else felt smooth. Gunplay, the movement, the maps. It's just the spawns. If they tweak the spawns, I think competitive is going to make a huge return. Because the last 2 years, it's been kind of dead.
Mm-hmm.
Like, 2022 or 2023 was not it. And then I would say Vanguard kind of was. But I think everything's going well in our favor, to be honest, for competitive.
And you kind of just mentioned what my next question was to be, like the movement, the red dot radar, and like the new gear system. Can you kind of just expand on what you guys are anticipating with this whole new system and what you're looking forward to out of it?
I mean, this should have stayed in the game. This is everything that's in this game should have stayed in 2023. Like this is everything that's we're talking about. Dead Silence being a perk and not a whatever it's called, and red dots and the movement should have just been day one. We should have got a brand new game this year and everything, but no, everything got to get messed over and everything, and it's just kind of messed up our entire year basically.
Kind of was it Vanguard? Vanguard almost put me into retirement.
Vanguard was so shit. I didn't even play Vanguard myself.
Put in a blender, that's why.
I was kind of mid at Vanguard. Just only I will argue because I didn't play that shit because it was fucking ass. I didn't play that.
It was so ass.
It was. I mean,
I never even thought about buying it.
Listen, I mean,
I love that game. Everything about it.
The
sub was so good.
Fucking Ryan yelling in my ear the whole fucking time.
Everything about that game was so good. That Nate season that we had, we were dominating. You can't lie.
Yeah.
We were pretty good. We weren't the greatest.
Good. I mean, bro, I'm gonna be fucking mid in every game, and that's because of the position I play.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have to be mid, like in order for Dylan to look good, in order for Phil to look good, like Joe even sometimes, bro, I'm gonna have to be like 14 and 12, and this dude's
which is fine.
This dude's like 27 and 12, 27 and 14. Like damn, and they're like midnight with a big game. I'm like, dog, I just secured spawns so this motherfucker could kill whore.
Mm-hmm.
It's not kill whoring.
Yeah, whatever. I'm joking.
I know.
It's all friendly banter here. But in terms of this MW3 itself, like other than the multiplayer, are you guys excited for the campaign? Are you excited for Makarov's return and potentially a reiteration of No Russian?
Real COD players don't play the campaign.
Fair.
Don't listen to him. I'm playing that campaign day one. I'm finishing it, and then the next day I'm going.
For me personally, I always have to beat the campaign first before I really dive into like the multiplayer aspect and everything else.
Never. I don't think I've ever finished a Call of Duty campaign.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna hold on.
Actually, no, I take that back. Modern Warfare 3 is the only campaign I finished.
Okay.
And it was kind of mid.
World at War.
Nope.
Black Ops 1.
Nope.
Black Ops 2.
Nope.
Damn,
bro, I was.
Those are campaigns you really
nerd.
and MW1, MW2, MW3, the entire MW series. Like those are all campaigns worth playing.
I was
100%.
the nerd to watch the walkthrough rather than play it. Like I was watching those campaigns.
Fair. I mean, as long as you've seen it and you know the lore. I mean,
I know the
but
lore, but I wasn't
to play them. I mean, especially World at War itself. Like World at War to me is probably like one of the most monumental campaigns I've ever played in any video game, just because of how special it was for me when I first started playing it. Like that first Russia mission where you're where you're trying to survive and everything, and you have to be stealth the entire time with Reznov. I mean, that mission alone just made the game what it was, and that campaign itself is just so stellar.
I mean, I agree. I'm playing that campaign. That's probably the only other thing. I won't touch zombies, I don't think.
Oh hell no,
It
dude!
looks cool though.
But like,
It's just Warzone zombies kind of.
Basically. It's just Outbreak.
Yes, exactly. Outbreak.
And Outbreak was not good at all.
I played maybe 2 games of Outbreak, had enough of it, never touched it again.
Yeah.
Zombies is in ruins right now.
Yeah, Treyarch next year though.
I hope.
I hope. Return.
We'll get into that question down in a bit, but I mean, zombies right now. Just staying on the zombie topic, zombies is so shit. Let's be real here.
It's been shit since
it just needs to go back to the OG formula, just a round-based system. We don't need to go doing all this other stuff and like that. But
give me Richtofen, give me Dempsey,
yes,
give me Takeo, give me fucking.
You were probably
Nikolai.
You were a Dempsey character, weren't you?
I was Dempsey most of the time.
Yeah, I was a Richtofen. I had to play Richtofen.
Yeah, Richtofen is fucking cool.
Yeah.
How could you not love Richtofen? But I mean, though, I think the last, like the other iterations other than Treyarch for zombies, I think Infinite Warfare was probably the other good zombies that we really got.
We were talking about that. I swear.
Zombies in Spaceland. Zombies in Spaceland was fucking goated. I really enjoyed it.
And it's so much fun on PC.
Yes.
I only bought it because of I literally bought the battle pass and everything. The $50 season pass you get. I bought it just to play zombies. And it was
I bought
worth it.
BO3 on PC just for the zombies. I mean,
Oh, I
but
did
you
too.
have all the custom zombies and everything on it. That's what makes BO3 like so great because of
There's
all
so
the
much
custom.
mods for that.
Yes,
And it's
so
fun.
many. Yes,
So much fun.
so many mods. So kind of just going into my next question here, just an overall question about the franchise COD itself. Do you guys believe that it's slowly going downhill?
Yeah, I've been watching the Call of Duty League since 2013. It's probably as disorganized as it is then, or as it is now. Or wait, what am I saying? It's as disorganized as it is. Wait, what the fuck? It's as disorganized now as it was then.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
I have a hard time speaking sometimes. Like I think I have.
It's all
like,
good.
Yeah, but yeah, they're going fucking bankrupt, losing money. Activision Blizzard just sold the bitch to Microsoft, so we might see less franchising, more like orgs coming back. I preferred that
We need orgs.
because
Yes.
like Joe Schmo me can go to a fucking tournament, an open tournament, place into, this is how it was back then. You place like top 16, you're considered like,
A good player.
you're considered pro.
Yeah, basically.
You're considered pro, and if you're top 8, you're like, holy fuck, this kid needs to be picked up.
Like, this kid was gross.
Like, now it's, you gotta fucking grind in challengers, you gotta fucking
Get 10K earnings. and
yeah,
like,
right.
need-
You gotta get yourself out there just to be a thought.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard. And the now, like, to get your name out there to be a pro is one of the hardest things that is, like, ever in any other game, I would say, because you really need to grind to even just become a good challengers player.
And that's how, bro. It's hard for me to be a senior trying to grind a new Call of Duty, like as hard as maybe the rest of CCL is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause I could finish in the spring. Like, I have 12 credits left, or I could play Call of Duty and say fuck my grades and get cracked at COD for 6 months and see if I get picked up or noticed or whatnot. But I want a degree. Like, I'm paying for a degree.
Yeah.
Right.
So kind of a follow-up on that. Are you guys more in favor of this new shift that they're doing with the COD games not being every year, but also just going every 2 years now? Are you guys
That's
okay
confirmed.
with more of a process? It gives you more. It gives you more time to really grind out the CODs, like you were just talking about.
Hopefully it makes it better.
It all depends on the game and who's making it, to be honest. Because if it's like under Activision or Sledgehammer, it's not going to go well in our favor.
But
Treyarch just needs to have the sole rights for it. Just let Treyarch have COD.
I mean, like I said, don't get me wrong. I like the MW series.
Yes,
It's just like
they've fallen off.
they make stupid decisions that should not be even a discussion about. They shouldn't take certain things out. They make the game worse, and it's just overall just not a good remark.
And they prioritize like the bundles, their battle passes, stuff like
They're
that,
trying to
rather
make
than just
money.
yes, exactly. They're all about gaining the revenue than really giving fans what they really want. And that's really something that they've fallen away from, and it's just so irritating because it just seems like every year you kind of bringing yourself back to terms like, oh, maybe this year it'll be different or whatever. But no, it's never fucking different. And it just seems like, for me personally, I feel like COD is slowly going on a downhill slope at the moment here. I'm like, don't get me wrong, I'm kind of excited for MW3, but I'm really not a big fan of the fact that we're just bringing back all the maps from MW2 and just making those the maps again in this MW3 game. Like, really? Are you kidding?
No, I
Like, that is just so bland. That's so stale. And, like, that's just so lackluster on their part. Like, they're Call of Duty, for fuck's sakes.
I used to pre-order all the Call of Duties.
Yes.
No, I don't even do
Like,
that.
I used to
now.
go to GameStop. Yeah, let me pre-order.
Go there.
$5
midnight.
now. Yeah, my broke ass. Nah,
Dude, the last
that-
midnight GameStop I went to was probably Black Ops 2. That's probably it. Maybe BO3. No, I didn't go to BO3. It was BO2, for sure. That was the last midnight release for GameStop that I went to.
I've never been to a midnight release.
I haven't either. I would get it after
My
school
parents
that
would,
Friday.
yeah, after school.
They would come pick me up and they just
Go to the GameStop, go to the
Yeah,
Chipotle.
that was
then
how
go
it
to
was.
the
That was how it
GameStop.
was for most of the time. But for BO2 and for Ghost, those are the midnight releases that I went to for sure.
I was also very young when those games came out. So obviously my mom was like, "No, you're like
School night
you're
or
like-
something.
You're like 8. You can't stay up at midnight just for a game and then try to go to school at 6 a.m. in the morning." Like,
I'd be up playing that.
on that weekend, those opening weekends.
Oh my goodness.
the grind was
But
real.
the FOMO you had when you didn't get the game release day and all your friends are fucking playing, and
They're
then
like
you
level
finally
30.
get it, and you finally get it, and you're like, "Yo, level 1 fucking scrub," and they're like, "Prestige 2."
Yeah, dude,
Nerds.
I'm so glad you bring that up because that's exactly how I felt when the PS4 first came out. It came out with the BO3 bundle. Like,
Yep.
I didn't get the PS4 like when it came out a few months earlier in that year. I think it came out maybe October, September. I didn't get it until Christmas of the next year. So I was a year late on the PS4 run, and it just sucked so bad. So I could totally feel what you're coming from when you're talking about not getting a release day and then seeing all your friends enjoying the experience and just being left out of it.
I made a mistake switching to PS4, and like none of my friends came with me.
Yeah.
And, like I went to PS4 to get Black Ops 4, and like because I wanted to play it competitively, but then it was my freshman year of college, and I had a really fucking shitty first semester, and I didn't even touch my PS4, and I regretted it because I'd rather been on Xbox, chilled with my fucking homies.
Playing the game.
Yeah, and now I'm on
PS4 by myself.
solo queuing.
On ranked.
Yeah, and then fucking getting Fs and shit, and at community college. Shout out Nova Nighthawks, by the way, Northern Virginia Community College.
The goats.
Yeah, for sure.
So what are you hoping that the franchise will go with next? Like, what are you hoping that Call of Duty would do going forward?
I hope it dies out and then we go back. I hope we do go back to the OG formatting where it was like 32 teams. Each team had 4 or 5 players. It just helps the challenger players and the people that are trying to get their name out there. Obviously, we're going to have the goated sweats, obviously like Toronto Ultra and Optic and everybody. But like these new teams, like they can create and then you can find new players that can bring their name out there while they're getting paid. Like there's probably college kids out here from the CCL that are like broke trying to get their name out there playing challengers. So I mean, if we create this new format, I think there's a lot of us that can show our potential out there.
When I played against we played against a few pro players that came from the CCL, like Ghosty and Fame. We're both in the CCL, like during Cold War. Yeah, Cold War
and Vanguard.
Yeah, and like there's definitely an avenue for that, but I think there just needs to be more like tournaments, like local lands, like through Call of Duty League itself. Like even if it's like a $5,000 land in Virginia Beach, like people will show up to that shit, or like a $10,000 open 10K in Columbus, like just local shit to like bring the fan base back. Like that's how it got to this point in the first place. You have fucking local lands every other weekend. People are playing that, gaining that community there, and then gaining like their own pro community in their local land setting. Like, and then they're doing it on a national scale online. So like the switch to franchising cut off that local land funding off. Now all the fucking lands are only online now.
Yeah.
And everybody funding it is only doing online tournaments now because there's no venues for it. Like, nobody wants to go somewhere and play. They have a lot of their shit at home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's just kind of the unfortunate con with the evolution of technology. Like, it really takes away from the events because, like you mentioned, like there's so many times like back in the past where you could just go out to events and then really enjoy the experience. But in terms of like now, you really could just see and just enjoy that experience from your bedroom or anything like that. Like it's just such a different vibe nowadays how it is, which kind of makes me worried about like the Comic-Cons and stuff like that. Eventually, like I don't want them to go like digital or something like that because like getting the experience out there like for Comic-Cons or like any type of panel events, like it's definitely nice to be out there and experiencing it, but with the shift to like being more like technological about it and being more digital about these things, it's this very scary thing to think about, especially for the gaming industry, because it just feels like the whole gaming industry is getting away from the whole like on hands type of thing and really going towards the digital platform. So yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what they do here. But in terms of like going forward with the franchise, is there any time period that you guys would like to explore? Like, for example, like for you want to go back to World War II, World War One, nowadays period. Is there any specific time period, Vietnam War, anything in specific that you would want COD to venture into?
Modern is fine.
Yeah, I don't think we should
maybe in the future.
Because they really overdone the whole World War II, World War One aspect
too many times.
That's like 5 or 6 titles.
Like, I think we should stay with modern stuff. Maybe go back to jetpacking. Maybe
go back to BO3.
Maybe go back to jetpacking or something like that, because like that was new. Or like, go back to Black Ops 4. They brought in the healing where you can heal and everything and all that stuff, and they brought the abilities of grappling.
You're right.
It was something just completely different, and it a lot of people didn't like Black Ops 4, but like people that did, it's something new for us.
Mm-hmm.
Like a small tangible difference.
Exactly.
Like the jetpacks or the healing, or like now we have the pick system, the pick 10 system, or something like that, or like
pick 25, whatever we have, or something like that. I don't know. I think we just need something new, something that's never been done before, or something that we have but we didn't really get to explore that much with.
This game, though, MW3 feels. I've been saying it, like when I played the beta the whole weekend. It feels like a mobile game. It looks like a mobile game.
It looks like it.
Like it looks like Call of Duty mobile.
No, yeah, I agree. It looks like Warzone coming out.
Like Warzone mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah, Warzone's another thing, but I don't really care about Warzone.
I don't want to go into Warzone. That shit's
personally, I think Blackout is much better than Warzone will ever be.
That's a hot take.
That's culture right there. That's culture.
I enjoyed the fuck out of Blackout.
Oh, no,
I really did. But
that's gonna cause some controversy.
I mean, for sure. But I really don't care. But it's just like Warzone. I mean, other than the original Warzone when it first came out, everything else they've done about it has been wrong. And they've really just been prioritizing like the bundles, skins, and all that shit. And they've really just gotten away from the real importance of the game itself, is creating the best content you can to bring an enjoyable experience for the players itself. So, kind of getting into our last topics here, because we're getting into the hour mark. I know Dylan had mentioned he needed to, he had something to tell you in the podcast.
Oh, no way.
So I guess I'll just throw this question out there because I barely found this out yesterday. So Dylan, you're potentially about to receive a scholarship to Cumberland University to participate in their COD Esports program. Can you kind of tell me how that came about and your thought process about potentially leaving Old Dominion next semester?
So the way it kind of happened was Andrew, who was he was the captain for Cumberland, said he was recruiting people. And I was like, you know what, let me see if I can put my shot out there. And I slid into his DMs, was like, hey, like, do you have a potential spot? He goes, yeah. And then wanted me we had a deep conversation about it. And he was like, I'll take you, and like, we want you, but like, you gotta go through like a whole bunch of stuff. And it's kind of a process, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to meet those requirements to go to Cumberland. So, I mean, it literally just happened Friday. So it's still in the works. But originally I wasn't to quit esports overall. I wanted to just focus on my degree and everything. But spark in the air kind of arose when my dad told me to never give up on my dreams. And then this opportunity kind of came along. And when I told him Saturday, he kind of was happy for me and he said he was proud of me. So I think if I do get at this, then it's going to be a new change for me. And hopefully it does go through and whatnot.
Bit of breaking news on your part.
I'm very proud of you. Like, he's been talking about, like, his stuff's been in the air. Like, I don't know if he wanted to stay doing this or stay here in general. I don't blame him if he wanted to leave, because the shit that's been happening, especially to the ODU team for, like, a yearly basis is kind of unfortunate. Like nobody's really been as 100% in as Dylan has in terms of, like, managing the team and just being there, playing the game and shit. So, like, for him to do that at a environment where he can still focus 100% and people are going to have that same type of energy, it's good for him and he deserves it. I'm proud of you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
It was very worrisome to bring that topic up. I had to make sure that it was okay with him just because I know he wanted to keep it under wraps before he told you guys first, which is fair on all means because definitely, I mean, your teammates and everything. But kind of your process, I mean, that's a bit of breaking news for you here on this podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, were you kind of expecting that?
I didn't expect you to get an actual offer and actually be serious about it. He was always fucking with us like, man, I'm just going to get an offer. I'm just going to get a scholarship somewhere else.
Or just jokingly talk about
just
JMU.
banter, right? And I'm like, yeah,
it was
do
just friendly.
man.
It was just
Do
friendly
man.
Just friendly banter and stuff.
No, but I think maybe I just been observing, but he's been pretty serious about taking some next steps forward and advancing farther than us. And like we started here together. I played every game with you together. Very mature, growing. You're just intelligent, caring. That's not enough.
Gonna make me cry over
Yeah,
here.
Let's not get emotional
yeah,
here.
right.
No,
too,
no.
But I mean, going forward with you, I mean, if he potentially leaves next semester, and I know I said this is the last topic. This is the last topic for sure. But if he potentially leaves next semester, I mean, you're basically the number one for the program. I mean, what are you hoping to get out of your last semester here?
A win? I don't know.
We got ECAC. We can.
ECAC.
You guys still have a chance in ECAC. Like maybe NACE is like over and done with, and you guys are trying to get some moral support, like moral victories to yourselves late season for that.
Nah,
but ECAC, you guys could definitely make something happen for playoffs.
Nah, next semester. Or wait, was this semester?
For ECAC?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in it right now.
Yeah, you guys are in it for ECAC because I
Do
believe you're
something with that.
2-1
Last ride or some shit.
or
with that.
3-1 actually.
No,
we're
for
2-1.
Okay.
We have 2 games this week.
yeah.
Unfortunately, you guys aren't getting streamed though.
I
But that's
know.
okay though, because I won't even be here to cast because I have hockey games those nights, Wednesday
Yeah.
and Friday, so I'm
Fire.
busy. Yeah,
Yeah.
No, but next semester.
you're the number one.
Yeah, it's my last semester too, so I don't know.
Exactly. What are you hoping to gain out of that last semester?
I hope
Especially
we have
being
4 people to play on the map in the spring. I don't know who else is gonna be here.
You got 4.
I'll have 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling the ringers.
Call them in.
you got to
Yeah.
call in the favors. I need you to lock in with me for a semester and let's get some dubs.
Are those 2 gonna be eligible in the spring?
You gotta talk to them.
All right. I might have to make some arrangements.
Call some backup.
Yeah, on some last ride type.
Yeah.
We'll see though.
Yeah.
If not, I might just be a brand guy for ODU COD.
All right. So that's basically all the questions that I had for you guys here. I know we've been recording for about an hour, which is usually the limit I like to go at, is about an hour episode for each episode. But any last thoughts from you guys before I start wrapping it up? Any shout outs, anything you guys want to say on the podcast before I start wrapping up the outro here?
Shout out Jesus Christ.
Facts. Shout out to my mom and dad. I gotta give them for believing in me and this whole esports stuff.
Fuck yeah. Shout out Team Subliminal. Shout out Dirty Chimpanzees. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. All right. And that is going to be a wrap for this episode of the Just Our Thoughts podcast. I wanted to express my gratitude to both of you for taking the time out of your Tuesday to come down and record with me here in the studio. You can find this podcast on Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, Podbean, and Podchaser by searching for Just Our Thoughts. And that is going to be all for now. I was joined by Dylan Glover and Patrick Caulfield, and we hope you have enjoyed listening. And we will see you guys in the next episode. Let's get after it this week and have a good one.